Hi, in this video, I'm talking about the movie Beyond Her Madness, which you can watch here on YouTube on Uchenna mbunabo TV. So this movie is a very emotional watch. It tells the story about this couple who lost their 12-year-old daughter Jasmine due to a car accident. The movie is basically showing us how they are both, dealing with that loss, how the wife is grieving, and how she has become like a shadow of herself. On one hand, she blames herself because she was the one driving that day and she just did not take it well. She wasn't herself, she wasn't eating, she wasn't sleeping, she was just like a completely different person. She was becoming lost, and her husband was very supportive, like throughout the 4 years that she was grieving and being depressed. He was still by her side, he still cared for her, still loved her, and he didn't make her feel like her feelings are not valid. So he was a very supportive husband. Then we now have, I call her the husband's friend, or like a family friend or work colleague. So this babe was the only person that, outside the both of them, that was, very present. She was very present with all that, the wife was going through, with all the family was dealing with. And she was also very supportive to an extent. She acted like she cared for them and she was, feeling for their loss and was hoping that things would get better and the wife will, get back to her normal self. Then we get to see the plot twist in the movie, which is this lady has this obsessive love over the man. So she does something very drastic to get the woman out of the picture so she can, move into her position and, take the spot of the wife in the man's heart. So it's a very interesting movie. Like, I really enjoyed the story. It's very heart touching, heartwarming, very educative, of course, and it just shows us how grief affects people and how people deal with loss in different ways. So for the actors in this movie, we have the wife Maria, who is played by Uche Montana. She did so well in this movie, honestly. Like, I loved her performance in this movie. Like, we're used to seeing her, acting the lovely romantic, love interest in the movie, but we get to see her like a grieving mother. Like, she brought such raw emotions into this movie. I actually feel like you're actually watching a mother that has actually lost a child. Like, she brought very authentic feelings into this movie, and you just feel so sad. Like, when she's sad, you feel sad. When she's like having little glimmers of hope, when she's having like little instances where she's feeling like herself. For instance, the date she went on with her husband, like, you're rooting for her to, get back to herself. You're rooting for her to live again, to breathe again, and to not blame herself for what had happened. It was really interesting seeing Uche Montana in this movie because she did so well. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed her acting in this movie. And her husband in this movie was Dennis, who was played by Frederick Leonard. So it was, I think this is my first time seeing the both of them on screen as a couple. And honestly, they complemented each other so well. That they had this chemistry, they just had this thing that was just so beautiful to watch. So the husband, Dennis, was a very loving and supportive husband. Like, despite everything that the wife was going through, despite, the nightmares, the hallucinations, the mood swings, this man still stuck with her. He was not going to leave her corner. He wasn't going to abandon her. Like, for him, he meant it when they made their vows for better or worse, and he felt like she was his person and this is just a phase. Like, although he too he's dealing with the loss, but he can't break down because he needs to be there, he needs to be strong for her. And I honestly loved Frederick Leonard in this movie because he really showed, like, you could see his struggles, you could see like how he was battling with all that was going on. And there was a particular scene where he snapped at the wife, and I was like, because this man was also dealing with a lot, but he could not express as much because he had to be there. He had to be the one to hold the family together. And he did really well in this movie. Then we get to see the friend, Bridget. Should I call her the family friend or the husband's colleague from work? So Bridget was played by Tope. This babe is such a wonderful actor because at first I was sold. Like, when I first started watching movie, I was like sold on, this guy is such a sweet friend, a very caring friend. Like, she's not even like directly friends with the wife, but she was the husband's friend, but she was so concerned about the wife's well-being and everything that was going on, until we got to find out that there was actually more to this Bridget chick. Like, from the scenes where she was trying to touch his hand and was saying that he should try and live again. He should not be so down because of all that the wife is dealing with. Like little things like that to just make you look at her sideways. But she did really, really good in this movie. And it just shows you how like people can have different sides. People can show you what they want you to see till you finally get to see them for their actual self. Then some other faces we get to see in the movie, of course, be Gatesman Bello, who was played by Ajayi Seun. This guy is known for being in movies as a funny guy, as a silly character, but in this movie he was a little bit serious. I guess because of the heavy emotions in this movie. There was no room for comedy. There was no room for anything funny to happen. So he was also very, very serious in this movie. He was just a gate man, but I didn't see him in a jokey light, which was interesting to see. Then of course, the housemaid, then her friend Elizabeth, then the doctor who was, psychiatrist who was treating the wife. Everybody honestly did so well in this. It's a really sad, heart touching movie. Like I don't think any parent wishes to lose a child. It's a very big loss. It's not ideal. Like nobody wishes for that, nobody prays for that. And having to experience that in this movie through the character Maria was just so sad. Like you could see like she actually wanted to be herself. Like she was also tired of always lashing out, always snapping at people. Like she knew she wasn't herself, but she didn't know how to go back to her normal self. She didn't know how to live again, how to be happy, how to smile, like how to live life to the fullest. So it's just like a very interesting movie, and everybody dealing with loss. I wish you find peace and I wish you heal from it and try and live like the husband Dennis said, like the living should live, like she should live, that her daughter will want her to live. Her daughter will not want her to be depressed and stuck in the house and not like living like a shell, living like a shadow of herself. So just try as much as possible to get help when you know you need it. And all this also very good to have like a good support system around you, because her husband was like, he was a rock, like he was her person, he was there through thick and thin. Just imagine if she didn't have that, like only God knows where she would have been. But yeah, so have you seen the movie Beyond Her Madness? It's an interesting watch. Stars Frederick Leonard, Uche Montana. Definitely go check it out. If you've seen the movie, let me hear your thoughts down in the comments section. Like I really liked how we all like watching the movie. We always keep hearing about the daughter that died. How they miss her. Her room. And nobody should enter her room. Nobody should scatter her room. And it was also nice to see like we actually got to see the daughter. Like there was a scene where we got to see them like as a complete family. Like it was really nice and beautiful to see that clip, to see like how they were, who the daughter is. Like it wasn't like we're just hearing about the daughter Jasmine, but we actually got to see her and see the family dynamic, see the love and togetherness in the home, which was really beautiful to see. And also the movie would also make you like be cautious of who you have around you and be careful of people, because there are a lot of two-faced people. There are a lot of people that get close to you with ulterior motives. Just be very careful and watchful, prayerful of who it is we let into our home. Just imagine somebody that they thought was actually rooting for them, like was a friend, and was the one that was plotting and doing all this nonsense, doing all this evil behind their back just to achieve what. Like some people are very scary sharp. It's a very emotional watch. If you're an emotional person, this movie would of course make you cry, but it's interesting and you should check it out. Beyond Her Eyes, you can watch it here on YouTube on Uchenna mbunabo TV. If you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. If you liked this video, please hit the like button. Check out my other videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.